All right. Welcome to Trade the Game. I'm Dan Koob. We got a fun slate tonight. Very fun slate tonight. We've got, Lakers Pacers are already going. So we'll check in on the live updating scores there. We got Grizzlies and Cavs tipping off in about probably 15 minutes. Heat and Knicks about to tip off as well. Welcome in to Trade the Game. Again, my name is Dan Koob. This is Sport Trade's Trade the Game. We had an awesome show Sunday for the AFC Championship game. Bengals and Chiefs. Super fun. We had like 70,000 people tune in. So thank you so much for that. And we're going to run it back today. Run it back with a little NBA. NBA, in my opinion, probably one of the best things to trade on Sport Trade. I think when you watch that money bar fly back and forth tonight, you're going to love it. We had sort of a iffy game a couple weeks ago. We had Nets and Sixers, and again, the Sixers led by a ton for most of it. But ended up being a pretty decent game towards the end of it, quite frankly. So we'll just see what happens tonight. We're going to place a couple trades right now. Again, waiting for Grizzlies and Cavs to start. That's kind of our featured game tonight. Here's sort of the rundown. So it's 7:30. We're going to play some trades, watch some first quarters, see how things go, test the markets a little bit. We're going to be tracking the totals as well. Just make sure if there's anything we want to jump in on, we absolutely will jump in on it. And then after that, at 8 o'clock, we have Greg Peterson from VSIN, who's going to join us for some live trading for about 15, 20 minutes. He's got a great show every night on VSIN. Make sure you check out what Greg's been up to. And we have like a very interesting small world connection. So watch us on here. And then if you're still up midnight to 3 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday, make sure you're checking out the Greg Peterson experience on VSIN. And then after that, we're doing something I like to call open court. And that's going to be really exciting. So on open court, what we're doing is we're going to open up the lines. So if you want to come on the show, you want to live trade with me, let's do it. Let's just live trade. So send me a DM either at sporttrade_app or at sporttradekoob, and let's do it. Let's just start live trading. It's going to be a ton of fun throughout the night, and let's start placing some trades. Why not, right? I did enough stalling. We're about 3 minutes in here. Let's place a couple trades. I already have one because this game is already underway. A minute left in the first. Pacers are up 32-26 right now. So I actually jumped in on the Pacers at 47.5. So I have one share of the Pacers to beat the Lakers tonight at home, mind you, at $47.50. Lakers have a ton of injuries too. So the fact that they were favored, in my opinion, maybe a little too heavily, played perfectly into the hands of a sports bettor. So really like that one. Let's see. Yeah, they got the backups in there right now. LeBron, 8 minutes in the first quarter, 3 points, minus 11. Rui Hachimura, who they just acquired, minus 11. Anthony Davis, minus 11. So tough start there for LA, but I like the Pacers to come through, at least in the first half. See what happens. So 1 minute and 5 seconds left there in the first quarter. And again, we're waiting on Cavs and Grizzlies to start. And then we will hop into the Knicks and the Heat too. So some pretty interesting matchups tonight, I think. Last time, slate was okay, maybe not that great. But we got some pretty good ones tonight, including Pelly's Mavs at 8:30, Nuggets Warriors. And then, the nightcap on TNT is Clippers Bucks. Doesn't start till 10 o'clock Eastern. I will be asleep. So you can live trade that one on your own later. All right, let's play some trades. What do you say? Let's do it. Let's go into the markets here and see what we like. So Memphis and Cleveland, the Grizz playing without Jaren Jackson Jr. tonight, Defensive Player of the Year candidate. Trading at $31, the Cavs are at $69.5. One of the bugaboos of this team so far this year for Memphis has been they're just not that good on the road. They really have not been good on the road at all. Let's see, I think they are 11-15 away from the grindhouse. So, at 69.5, is there a ton of value? I'm not sure. I think the Cavs win the game, but I think Memphis may have an opportunity to grab some early points here. So I'm just going to do a slight position. I'm going to grab half of a share on Memphis, and then we'll kind of make some moves. Heat and Knicks. This Heat team is I mean, they're the Heat, right? 29 and 23 this year. They're always competitive. It just depends on who's on the floor for them, night in and night out. Let's see. Duncan Robinson, Victor Oladipo out. Mitchell Robinson, Jalen Brunson out for the Knicks. So Jalen Brunson out for the Knicks is why the Knicks are plus 135 at $42 per share. That makes a lot more sense. Okay. I still don't love it, but I'm gonna grab a share of the Heat here. So here's what we got: Pacers, Grizzlies, Heat. That's what we're on tonight. And then once these things kind of get rolling a little bit, we'll start looking at some totals. First quarter is coming to an end between the Pacers and the Lakers. It's 32-28, 35-28, a 3 here just for the end of the first quarter. I'm a communications major, not a math major. 35 plus 28. Let's see, we're at 63 points in the first quarter. So let's take a look at our totals. We have 232.5, 239.5, and 246.5. The over is trading very high. High scoring first quarter there in Indianapolis. A lot of people going to Roy's afterwards. Is that what it's called? Roy's? Something like that. I don't remember. It's been a long time since I lived there. I think I'm not going to touch these. Not yet. I'll wait for them to come down. Just come down a little bit, and then we will revisit. So again, just waiting for the start of Grizz and Cavs, and then we'll get this thing started. And then if you're new to the stream, what we like to do at halftime of what has been football games has been to basically call a timeout and have a drink. So we've got a delicious bourbon tonight for our drink of the night. This is a Wild Turkey Revival. It's delicious. 101 proof. It was actually a wedding gift from our neighbors. Wild Turkey, Lawrenceburg, Kentucky. This is a good one. Finished in sherry casks. Big fan. Big fan of that one. So that'll be coming up whenever we deem appropriate. So hop into the chat whenever you get a chance. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Again, this is Trade the Game. We'll be live trading a bunch of basketball games once they kind of get up and running here. We're just, again, started waiting for Grizz and Cavs to start. Should be momentarily. Then we'll start to see some trading happening. It'll be fun. It'll be a good time. Greg Peterson from VSIN going to join us at 8 o'clock via the collab cam, which failed Alex Kane and I miserably just last week. So we'll see if that comes to fruition. Not entirely sure. This Cavs team is interesting. Do we think that they've got it in them? I just don't know. Donovan Mitchell, great player, obviously, averaging 27 and 5 assists per game. But just a lot of inconsistency. Guys, Darius Garland, good player. Evan Mobley, good player. Jared Allen, I still can't believe they got Jared Allen in that trade. See what happens going to commercial. So, if you look at your screen, you'll see to your left, we've got the Sport Trade app. Please go download, place a trade. We got all kinds of cool stuff going on for the Super Bowl. I think I could say Super Bowl, the big game, whatever you want to call it, including some really interesting stuff going down tomorrow on the app. But if you want to, you can download Sport Trade right now, get a $300 risk-free bet All you got to do is download, deposit up to $300, place a bet. If that bet loses, you get all that money back. But it's not going to lose. So what happens is you're going to place that bet and you're going to win a ton of money off that free $300. And then keep playing. So Pacers, Grizzlies, Heat. That's what we're on tonight. I bought half of a share of the Grizzlies at $31. So my position here is $15.50. Pacers, $47.50. That game is end of the first quarter, and they're up. And then the Heat, I got the Heat beating the Knicks tonight in New York. No Jalen Brunson, no Mitchell Robinson. $59 per share there. So what you're seeing here is our live updating portfolio. And what that tells you is all of the trades you make, all the bets you make, they're all going to line up in your portfolio. And that number below portfolio is how much is in your account. The number below that is either going to be red, it's going to be green, and that's going to tell you what you're up during your entire session of betting, right? So similar to something like Pickett or anything like that that tells you over the time, this is going to tell you whatever's in your live betting portfolio, it's going to pop right on there. So still waiting on this game to start. Let's see. Man, tons of scoring in Indianapolis tonight. Pacers up 40-36 on the Lakers. Again, we looked at the total earlier, and it's skyrocketing to the point where I don't think there's a ton of value here. On your screen, you're seeing it. It's over 232.5, over 239.5, over 246.5. And to this point, I'm just not seeing a ton of value. I mean, over 246 is a ton of points. We're going to wait for that one. I'm not going to jump on that. Let's go back to our portfolio here. So waiting for a bunch of games to start. Heat and Knicks looks like it's about to tip off from MSG. And then, of course, Grizz and Cavs is the game we got on the TV just to my right. So feel free to jump in the chat. Let me know if there's any trades you want to make. Let me know if you have any questions about the app. Again, right now, download SportTrade, get a $300 risk-free bet. Pretty sweet. Pretty sweet deal. And then we'll have something that I like to call it open court. If you want to make some trades, hit us in the DMs, either at SportTrade app or at SportTrade Koob. We'll get you on the live stream. You can see it for yourself. Thanks everybody who's tuning in right now. Good to see you. Happy Thursday. We'll have a drink at halftime of the live stream. We'll just call a quick timeout, and we'll enjoy a good spirit. It's Thursday night after all. It's Friday Eve, right? Friday Eve. Got to live it up a little bit. As soon as Charles Barkley is done yapping, we can get to the basketball finally. Do love Chuck. No hatred for Chuck. So the Heat already down 350. What's going on in that game right now? It's 2-2. Come on. 2-2. Jimmy Butler, 2 points. R.J. Barrett, 2 points. Oh, R.J. Barrett got off the bench. Good for him. So the cool thing about trading basketball is we're going to see this money bar right here. It's green. It's red right now. Obviously, if it's to the left of the strike, it's red. To the right of the green, it means you're making money. So right now, down $3.50. That's okay. It's 5-4 in the early going. But the cool thing about basketball and sport trade is this thing's going to be doing this. It's going to be going like that constantly. It's a lot of fun. So if you are looking to get in and out like a day trader, this is a really cool app, especially for basketball. It's cool regardless because you can cash out for the actual value of your bet regardless of timing. So let's say you grabbed an underdog and you're not sure they can win, but you think you can make a little money if they pull ahead, you can do it. Heat down 750. So it looks like we may be having some issues with this particular screen, but fear not. Other ones are updating. Man, the Knicks out to an 11-4 start. That's okay. Here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to buy low. Or I shouldn't say buy low. We are going to do something interesting. So we've immediately lost $10 on our position here on the Heat. That's fine. I still think the Heat are going to win the basketball game. They've played 3 minutes. The Knicks are up 11-4, and I don't know if they've missed a shot yet. That's fine. Totally fine. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to buy another share at a reduced cost on the Heat. So we bought another share. What does that do for us? Very simple. We just lowered our cost basis. So we had it originally at $59. We just bought another one at $49. So now we have 2 shares, total cost of $108. But now we dropped our average from 59 to 54. And just like that, the Heat scored. Let's go. 11-5. We're going to be moving in and out. We're going to be moving in and out. It's going to be great. We're going to be like this, like that, all the time. Let's see, Grizz and Cavs, 2-0. Here we go, baby. 2-0 game. Our featured game tonight, 3-0, excuse me. Cavs with the 3. So we have, again, half a share of Memphis to win the game. Looks like a Desmond Bane jumper. 3-2. This thing's going to be moving like crazy. It's going to be a lot of fun. Like I said, at 8 o'clock, we've got Greg Peterson from VSIN coming on with us. Then it's open court after that. Man, Darius Garland gets wherever he wants. Just gets wherever he wants. If you have any questions or anything, hop into the chat. Happy to answer any questions. See if we can make some trades. Hop into the chat. Let's do it. Let's have fun tonight. That's what it's all about. Sport trade's all about fun. We're going to have a lot of it. Tough look there from Evan Mobley. It's good to know that NBA players miss layups too. I play in a terrible basketball league on Tuesday nights. Missed an absolute bunny. Actually, I missed it so bad I didn't even touch the rim. Got my own rebound. Ref was so backwards, didn't even realize it. It's a 5-5 here. Memphis, obviously awesome. Disappointing on the road, though. Got to say. 11-15 on the road this year. Tough to win on the road in any sport, but expecting a tad better. So early stages. Let's see. Knicks Heat 16-8. Favor of the Knicks. So that Miami position just down 10. That's okay. Thanks for the people watching on Twitch. We just started our Twitch channel recently. So much appreciated. Growing exponentially up to 11 followers. Thanks for watching on Twitch. Got about 35 people watching on Twitter. Thanks so much. Shout out to all you guys and girls. Again, this is Sport Trade. We're live trading the NBA Slate right now. Early goings. Early goings. Again, we're running a couple cool things at Sport Trade right now. If you want to download the app, the link to do so should be, if you're watching this on Twitch, YouTube, or Facebook, should be below. If not, just hit up the Apple iOS store, download the app, go from there. $300 risk-free bet when you do. Oh, here we go. Now, oh, yes. Here we go, baby. Now we got it rolling. Now we got it rolling. Screens are up and running. The Pacers are up 54-41. We are up $20 on that trade. Let's go. This is what I'm talking about. We bought the Pacers at $47.5. They're already at $75, and you could sell it back for $18.50 more than what we paid for it. 54-42, halfway through the second quarter. We're going to hold on, though. I think we can make more money on this one. So we're already seeing healthy green money bars there. We're up $7 overall on the night. The Heat, down 11, but again, early. Cavs Grizz, still early, 7-7, down 50 cents there. A lot of time left. Right now we're just watching hoops. That's all we're doing. Watching hoops and answering questions in the chat if you got them, or comments. What are you betting on? What are you drinking? What are you doing? Thursday night. Let's get weird. Let's get wild. So 3 games in the 7 o'clock slate. 2 more to start in the 8 o'clock hour. 1 more at 9 and 1 more at 10. Don't worry, we won't be live streaming then. Let's see, Pacers are cruising right now. They're carrying us tonight. Pacers are absolutely carrying us. I think the under might be interesting right now. 10-9, almost halfway through the first. Again, we're watching Memphis and Cleveland. Let's just take a look-see. Over 223.5 is at 45, which is plus 120. Under 223.5 is 59. I like to think in some of these games with marquee teams, there's a bit of a feeling out phase that goes on right in the beginning. So I feel like scoring might pick up on this one. Not unless you're Evan Mobley taking shots like that. So I think, oh man, just a sloppy couple seconds of basketball there. Let's hop on the over. Let's do it. We got it at 45. So over 223.5. And I think it just went up at least $1. So here's our portfolio. We're up $7.75 right now. Over 223.5. Miami Heat we've got winning. The Grizzlies we've got winning. And the Pacers are already up $18. It's a good night in the association. A lot of good games tonight. See, Hornets, Bulls, maybe not the best game. Pelicans and Mavericks later. Warriors and Nuggets. Clippers and Bucks. To go along with Grizzlies and Cavs. Welcome on Twitter. Thanks for watching. Welcome on Twitch, Facebook, YouTube. Again, to the left is the Sport Trade app. If you've never seen it before, welcome. Let's have some fun. If you're watching on all of those other channels, there should be a link to download the app so you can start trading yourself. If you do, $300 risk-free bet for all first-time users. So go check it out. We got cool stuff coming over the weekend too. We've got our big game promo coming out tomorrow. Excited for that. I can't say Super Bowl. They don't want me to say Super Bowl, so I'm not going to say Super Bowl. It's the big game promo. We've got that coming out tomorrow. So stand by for that. That's going to be awesome. Some places will be like, oh, we'll give you like $1,000 in bets and stuff like that. Nah. Nope. Haven't seen anything yet. Just wait till tomorrow. Looks like we got some timeouts around the association right now. Man, Heat are kind of letting me down. Down 19-11 halfway through the second quarter here, or first quarter. And we're kind of bleeding money here. But one of the cool things you can do on Sport Trade is if I was tired of this bet, I could just cash it out right now for its actual value. So while I would lose $29, I would still be able to claw back. Now it's $26. I'd still be able to claw back $82. So pretty sweet. Coming up in just a couple minutes, we're going to have Greg Peterson from VSIN. Again, check out the Greg Peterson Experience on VSIN from midnight to 3 Eastern. So when you're done here, go hang out with them. And you'll have to bear with me. I run the live stream by myself, so when I try to bring them on, I have to go to a different screen. There's going to be a black hole in it. Don't worry, Greg's face will fill it soon enough. No producers over here. That's okay. All right, try looking at red money bars. Let's go back to green money bars. Pacers up 56-48 nearing the end of the first half. And Grizzlies Cavs coming back on. Taylor Jenkins, what a beard on that guy. Right? Again, after Greg, we're going to kind of open it up. I like to call it open court. If you want to come on the show, hit us up in the DMs. We'll send you a link. And we'll just live trade. Garland run out. There you go. Front rim. Good defense there from Desmond Bane. All right, let's work on getting Greg into the show here. So bear with me as I switch some screens around. Hey, look, now we're on a 2-shot. So just bear with me real quick. We'll get this all ready to roll. We'll get Greg on the show. And once he joins in, let's all pray to the technology gods that it all works. And then we'll go from there. Again, this is Trade the Game from Sport Trade. You're seeing Sport Trade app, that way. Sport Trade app, chat, so hop into that. Man, we jumped on the over here, and I got to be honest, I'm not digging it. Jumped on the Memphis-Cleveland over, and it's kind of crushing us right now. I'm going to be honest with you. Oh man, it's got a whiff of that bourbon. Cannot wait to have some of that. Again, halftime of the live stream. It's bourbon time. The best time. 14-12 right now, with more than half of the first quarter gone. The ball's just not falling. And it's still, oh man. So again, we're just waiting for Greg Peterson to hop on. Once he does, we'll have a nice little chat. Trade some sports. And then Greg's got to either go to sleep, I guess, or prep for his show. Guy's on from midnight to 3 a.m. Eastern. I guess in Vegas it's not that bad. I guess that's what, 10 to 1? I've worked worse schedules. So while we wait for Greg, we still got, man, this Pacers trade is carrying us right now. Grizzlies up a buck, tied at 14 off a Cavs miss. Oh, great dime. Great dime. Morant with a great pass for an easy bucket. Memphis now up 16-14. Looks like we've got Greg.
How's it going?
Good. Can you hear me, Greg?
I've got you loud and clear.
Perfect. Greg Peterson, welcome to Trade the Game. We're super excited to have you with us. We have a very interesting backstory, which leads us all the way back to your humble beginnings in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. For those who don't know Greg, make sure you follow him on Twitter. Although I'm sure if you're watching this, you probably already know him. A college basketball handicapping wizard, and also available to be seen and heard on VSIN, midnight to 3 a.m. Eastern. So first of all, thanks for coming on. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me. And it's been a busy college basketball season, but it's a fun one as always. So great to be with you.
So are you from Wisconsin or just went to UW Oshkosh?
From Wisconsin, went to high school in Hortonville, if you know where that is. Yes, the good old polar bears.
How could I forget? And then so you were calling various sports, right? Play-by-play, various sports at Oshkosh. Bring me up to speed on that.
Yep, I covered the women's NCAA tournament when UW Oshkosh went there, did some volleyball, did a little football, did a little basketball. So I was doing a little bit of everything there, and I was also doing their weekend show. And I remember having an interview with you while I was actually a senior at Oshkosh back when you were working, I believe, for NBC 26, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's right. Your last place, NBC 26. Yeah, loved every second of it.
Good people over there.
Yeah. Oh, great. The best people. But, how serendipitous, Greg, that I asked you to come on the show and you were like, yeah, I'll return the favor. You came on my show when I was in college.
Exactly.
This is amazing. Yeah. Well, let's orient you to the screen a little bit. You can see the phone, I imagine, I hope, on your screen next to me. Perfect. So this is the Sport Trade app. What you're looking at right now is a bet that I've made on the Pacers to win this evening against the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, they're up 67-54 in that game. So what you're seeing here is you see the 74.5. That's the actual current market value of my bet. So you see I'm up $27 on this particular bet. We use implied probability at Sport Trade. So we don't use American odds, although we do have them in the app just as a reference for you. So right now, the Pacers are at minus 323 to win the game, but I got them at 47.5%, $47.5 per share to win the game, which is akin to about like plus 120, right? So in essence, what we're doing here, Greg, is, again, just an implied probability. So in essence, what we're doing is we want to buy low and sell high, right? So while we're watching a couple different games tonight, this is basically how the app works. If I wanted to, I could go into the app and sell this back right now for a $25 profit immediately. I don't want to do that, though, because I think the Pacers are going to keep this lead. They're up 67-54. So
and fading the Lakers has been good all year. So
yeah, seems like a pretty good policy, right? So the other game we're watching tonight is the Memphis Grizzlies and the Cleveland Cavaliers. It looks like the screen's having a little trouble updating, but we are also on the over 223.5. So this came out of the gates, Greg, very high. I believe it was at like 57% chance happening. We bought it at 50 or 45, so we were able to buy the dip a little bit. Because of that, now we're up $6, and it's only at 51. So it hasn't even returned to its original point, but because of where we bought it, now we're up. So that's sort of the idea behind Sport Trade, is you can kind of day trade the games as they're going on because the price will update in real time.
And I think it's really smart because the best sport to do it is the sport that you're doing right now in the NBA, because I think you'd agree with me. The NBA has the most wild swings that you're going to find. And it's something that I talk about on my show as well, because something that's becoming more and more popular in sports betting, you're doing a version of it right now, is live betting. You take a look at what you're getting towards the beginning of the game. If you like what you're seeing, maybe you buy in a little bit more on the over. If you think, man, it's been a little bit of a rough start for the Indiana Pacers, for example, but you know what? Lakers are hitting a bunch of lucky shots. I'm able to get a better number right now. I'm going to buy in. That's a lot of the basis of it. And as you know, in the NBA, the team that you bet on probably going to be up or down by 15 points at some point in the game.
Well, and that's one of the fascinating things too, Greg, is if you're able to get a team, let's say at between 5 and 10, right? You could buy a team for $5 a share. They don't even have to be that competitive. If they can get up to 20, you've just 3 extra money, right?
Yeah.
And you could sell out right away. So that's one of the cool things. It's like, again, buying at 120, buying it plus 120, and then selling it minus 300. Like, I don't know where else you're going to do that, but that's what you can do here at Sport Trade. So we'll look at our live updating portfolio again. So all of your bets are tracked in this updating portfolio. So right now we're up $21.50, and our biggest winner here, as we're in a timeout between the Cavs and the Pacers, is Cavs and the Grizzlies. Are the Pacers rolling right now, up 67-54 at halftime. So, Greg, I know college basketball, definitely your specialty, but if you're looking at a number like that, I assume you're thinking, well, I think the over might be the play here. But if you look at the current pricing in the app here on Sport Trade, even our alternate totals, pretty high. 239.5 minus 144, that's 58.5. That one actually doesn't look so bad. Over 232.5 at 79, and over 246.5 at 34. I'll ask you as the handicapper here, definitely not me. When you take a look at those numbers, what do you think in terms of value?
I do think that you've got a little bit of value in terms of an over because the Lakers only took 8 threes in that first half, and I recognize the LA Lakers are not really a good three-point shooting team, but I do think that they're going to be taking a little bit more in the second half, and I've noticed that the Lakers are a little bit of a slow starting team, and they do finish a little bit stronger with regards to their offense. LeBron James tries to go into takeover mode whenever he's not out for load management, things of that nature, and that's always something that got to be taking a look at in terms of a lot of these NBA games as well. But with the Indiana Pacers, I'd probably sell a little bit higher on them as well because while the Lakers' three-point shooting defense has not been good, they shot 12 of 22 from three-point range in the first half of that game as well. And that's something that I try to do with the NBA as well because I am never one that necessarily dives in before the game because it is a case of something I mentioned before. The load management, not knowing who's going to be starting these games. And then once you know who's out there, once you're able to get a little bit of a feel for how the game flow is going, are they just hitting a bunch of lucky shots? Are they really just on their game in that point? Then you're able to buy in. Like, this has a feel of an over game to your point. And I do like what you're looking at in terms of that first alternate over. I think that you said it was more of like 239.5.
Let's go back to it. Yeah, 239.5. So let's do it. Let's hop on it. Let's do it. So it's minus 144 at $58.50 per share. We're going to buy one share, and I want you to watch how quickly this goes through. That's how fast it goes through. So
no spin cycle.
No, there's no spin cycle here. There's no spinny wheels. There's no casino lights or anything like that, right? You're getting in, you're getting out. So Pacers right now up $26 on that particular deal, and that we've amassed a nice little portfolio here. So we have the Pacers to win, the over 239.5 in that game, the Grizzlies, the Heat, and the over 223.5 in the Grizzlies and Cavs as well, which, pretty slow start, but actually is up $8.50 for us right now, Greg. So not so bad.
That's very nice, yeah.
Yeah. So when you're handicapping games, something I'm always very interested in, you tweet out an incredible sheet basically every single day, and correct me if I'm wrong. What's that process like? How time consuming is that?
Well, I do all of these manual because there are a lot of people, they've got an algorithm that they take a look at in terms of college basketball, but I want to be taking a look at, for one, now that we're in the meat of conference play, how did that first game go? Because it's very easy to be like, oh, Team X won by 15 points the first time around, but when you dive into the numbers and you see, oh, Team X won by 15 points because they shot 18 of 24 from three-point range, that leads you to believe that the team that lost by 15 points, they're probably going to get a little bit of better three-point shooting luck the next time around. You also want to be taking a look at just who's in/out of the fold as well, because I do think that there's a lot of algorithms that they don't necessarily gauge injuries properly. And there are some teams that they respond actually quite well when a guy is out. There are some teams that they just completely crumble as well. So that's always something to take a look at. And something that I think is very important as well is just taking a look at which team do you think is going to get the tempo, because in basketball in general, that is such a big thing. if you are able to exert your style more often than not, you're going to be able to win games. It's not always a guarantee. There are some teams that we see it a lot in the NCAA tournament. The mid-majors able to slow things down. They don't necessarily win that game against a high-powered team, but at the very least, it does give them a chance to be able to hold in there. Meanwhile, if you have your mid-major team, they're going up against like Duke, North Carolina, what have you from back in the day, they get completely sped up. That's where you see a lot of your blowouts as well. So I want to be gauging which team is going to be able to get their tempo, and that is so big in terms of my handicapping. And then obviously late game scenarios as well, trying to look forward as to, okay, if I think that a team is going to win by 8 points, that would imply that there's probably going to be a little bit of late game fouling. I should probably shade up my total a little bit more. And then if you think that a game is going to be a 25-point blowout, well, you don't have to factor in that late game fouling.
That makes a lot of sense. I'll ask you, as a Temple alum, Temple just defeated the number 1 team in the country, Houston.
Yes,
Houston's
go
coming
Owls.
back. Yes, go Owls. Houston's coming back to South Philly, I think this weekend, tomorrow, or Saturday, I believe. Yep. Are they any chance to get back into the tournament for the first time under Aaron McKee, in your opinion? What do you think?
I think it would be a little bit tough, but they do have good wins on the resume because they also have that Rutgers win, which that's looking better and better by the day. It's just so interesting with Temple, just because they've got some unsightly bad losses because they have got that loss to
Wagner. Oh, yeah, that was just ugh. Had to turn off my television that night.
Yeah, the Wagner loss was not good, to say the least. The Houston one was absolutely tremendous, though. They've got one of the most unique resumes. So it depends upon what sort of a committee we get this year. If you get a committee that is going to reward you for good wins, I think Temple honestly has a chance. If it's one of these committees where they're like, oh, man, you got loss X, loss Y, what have you, then I think it might be a little bit tough. I think that there's a little bit of a possibility, but they certainly do need to roll here in American Conference play, just because other than Houston and Memphis, just not really a conference worth writing home about, especially with Central Florida looking a little bit more iffy recently as well.
If you have any questions for Greg, we've got him for a couple more minutes, so hop into the chat and ask Greg any questions. With all the college basketball handicapping you're doing, do you enjoy the NBA game and the product? You mentioned, you always have to be aware of guys not suiting up because of rest or travel or whatever. Do you enjoy it? And if not, like what's the fix in your mind? This is the topic du jour about the NBA this week.
I do think that the NBA is no doubt a higher level game, and the NBA playoffs is amazing. What I would like to see is perhaps a fewer games, because right now with the 82 game schedule, it feels like there's a lot of guys that are out due to load management. And I think that that's the biggest issue with the NBA. When you get all of your stars out there, when you get a normal night, when you don't have load management, it is a really good game. It's really nice to be able to bet on. It's just good quality. I think that the take foul has maybe made the score a little bit too high. I would like to see maybe it throttled down just a tad, because I do feel like sometimes we get these numbers out of whack. But certainly if you've been taking a look at a lot of overs in the NBA, you absolutely love it, because it's been very, very profitable to say the least. But I do think the biggest thing for the NBA is just finding a way to get the stars out there on the court for as many games as possible, because that's the one real knock that I currently have with the NBA, whereas in college, you're not going to see like Zach Edey, for example, of Purdue ever out due to load management.
It's a great point. We know you have to go, Greg, so we thank you so much for your time. My last question for you: compare and contrast the weather between Las Vegas, Nevada, and Oshkosh, Wisconsin for us.
Well, ironically enough, we got a little snow out here in
okay.
Nevada a few days ago, so that was very interesting. But past that one main outlier, it's like the second time I've seen snow out here in Nevada in 5 years. It's significantly better. You don't have to shovel heat, which is something that I do like, and it's much easier to cool down, in my opinion, than it is to warm up. So I will take the heat over the cold any day.
And you're a Texas Roadhouse fanatic. How does that happen?
Yes.
How does one become this? And then what are they putting in the meat in order to keep you coming back?
Well, they're just putting out great steaks at a great price, because everyone talks about fine steakhouses and everything like that. I'm the type of person that, out here in the sports betting world, we're looking for good bang for your buck. We're looking for a return on investment. I will take 4 good steak dinners over one that might be a tad bit better, but at the same time, you're having to dress up, you're having to wait in a very long line, you're having to put reservations in a week in advance, you're able to sit down at Texas Roadhouse. The food is always good, so I am a big, giant fan. Myself and my wife, it's our favorite place to go.
I think it's the cinnamon butter. That's all I
Yes,
think.
that is good. And then the fried pickles. If you ever get the fried
Oh,
pickles
come
as
on.
well, those are
Yeah.
tremendous.
I'm no rookie here, Greg. Thank you so much. He is Greg Peterson, host of VSIN Live's The Greg Peterson Experience. You can catch him midnight to 3 a.m. Eastern. Good luck with that sleep schedule, my friend. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Please come back and join us again and live trade with us.
Absolutely. Will do. Thank you so much, Dan.
All right. Thank you, my friend. Okay. Hopefully we're back up. Thank you so much to Greg Peterson for joining us. I know we probably just had a little bit of a blackout there. Hopefully we're back up and running. It looks like we are. Okay, here we're back. Oh, I guess that's a beta, something that's in beta in Streamlabs. When you have a guest, it works when they come on, and then as soon as they hop off, you no longer have a show. So thanks, Streamlabs. Let's get that fixed, why don't we? Well, anyway, thanks for joining us, Greg Peterson. Check out his show on VSiN Live. He's awesome. We love having him on. And a Wisconsin guy. We love Wisconsin guys and girls here on the program. I was fortunate enough to live there for about 4 years. A lot colder than Pennsylvania, though, or New Jersey. I'll tell you that much. If you're watching, hop into the chat. If you want to come on the show, odds are you may break the show, but come on anyway. Cleveland 30, Memphis 26 here. We have the over 223.5, and we're in the green. We're just kind of sitting around fluctuating right now. Lakers and Pacers about to tip off the third quarter, 67-54 there. I mentioned 30-26 Cavs and Grizzlies. The Heat now leading the Knicks 34-32, which was a trade we made and actually lowered our cost basis, which was smart of us because we bought the Heat earlier tonight at 59, bought them again at 49, average cost of 54. So a heady bet we made there, and we're back and we're rolling. This is open court. If you want to come on, just let me know. Shoot me a DM. We'll get you on the stream. We are again pricing everything live here in our Sport Trade app. We've got the Pacers who are up on the Lakers here in the third quarter. That we're up 23.50 on that trade alone. The portfolio is popping, up $34 right now. The Heat's up $2. Again, we have 2 shares of that. Heat's up $8 now. Grizzlies down $2. Not that worried about that. Not worried about that at all. We got that super early. The over in the Grizzlies Cavaliers is up. We're doing a great job right now. Doing a great job tonight. Live trading at its finest. Memphis is down 33-28 here in the second. Let's pop around, see what we got. So here's something interesting. So we didn't go crazy on the Grizzlies. We bought them. We bought a half of a share at just $12.50. That's it. That's only down $3. So if this continues to dip, I kind of like buying Memphis, at least a full share. Of course, I say that, and Desmond Bain gets called for a travel. So hold off on that. Big trade just came in on the Charlotte Hornets. 47 shares at $31 per share. $14.60 is the size of that order. We'll see what happens. Thanks everybody watching on Twitter. We got about 60 people hanging out with us on Twitter. A couple more on Twitch. Feel free to, again, hop into the comment section. Let me know what you're watching. Let me know what you're doing. We went dark. They always tell you on TV, don't ever go to black. We went to black earlier. That's okay. It was worth it to have Greg on the show. All right, we're going to try something here that could potentially short out our live stream yet again, but we're going to do it. We're going to do it because the people want it, and I'm here to give the people what they want. So stand by as we welcome on another guest, surprise guest here on the program. Going to come on and live trade with us. And when this person pops up, I think we'll recognize him right away. Cleveland 36, Memphis 31. Big three there for Memphis. Let's go. Memphis trade is looking better by the second. 36-34, Cleveland. The Lakers have tightened the gap over here. Let's go back to our Pacers trade. Pacers now up 71-66. The Lakers have outscored them 12-4 here in the third quarter. So the Pacers up $13 now. We were up like 27 or something like that. Heat now up 4 on the Knicks, 39-35. Again, the Knicks playing without Jalen Brunson and Mitchell Robinson tonight. Okay, here he is, the man, the myth, the legend, Alex Kane, CEO, founder of Sport Trade, joins us. Alex, can you hear me? Oh, Alex, I can't hear you. Are you in Safari? Did you jump in on? You are in. You are in Safari. Okay, good to know. And you can hear me. Unfortunately, this computer of yours, I don't know what's going on. It worked earlier today. We can't hear you. Let me figure out what I can do here. There we go. I heard that.
What about now?
Oh, I got you now, loud and clear.
Okay,
There
but
we
it's
go.
not echoing, so we're all good. I just
Yeah,
took the headphones off.
I think we're okay.
All right, let's make some trades here.
Let's
What do we
make some
got?
trades. Alex Kane
Let's
joining
go.
us on the program live. Hey, this is why we call it open court. You want to come on the show, you get on the show. This is what we do here.
Amazing.
So welcome to the program. We were looking down our portfolio earlier, and we're crushing it. We're up almost $50. So the Pacers, we have the Pacers who are up 13.5, now 14. We have the over 239.5 in the Lakers Pacers. We have the Grizzlies to win, the Heat to win, and the over 223.5 in that game as well.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I have Pacers
Okay.
money line. I was doing some demos today, so I got 11 shares from about $50.
Whoa.
So I'm up
Okay.
160.
Let's go.
And when you were on with Greg, it was up to 75. I actually sold one. So
Did you?
I did
I know.
that.
It's tough when you're
Sold
when
that.
you're doing an interview. It's difficult to trade, but we'd have him on in a second again. So no worries there, Greg. Please come back.
Incredible. Incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that was great.
Pacers are up, overs are up right now. I mean, for the first time in my life, every single bet I've made is now up, including our Grizzlies one. Now here's an interesting proposition for you. The Grizzlies are at 34.5. We have half a share at 16. They're right in this thing. In fact, they're leading by one.
Yep.
8 minutes left in the second quarter. We are right on our strike point here of well, technically we would be at 32 for a full share. We're at 31 where we got in. Is it worth buying another one, or are we gonna screw things up here? What's your opinion?
Let's do it. I'm going to get in on that as well.
Okay.
We're talking about the Grizzlies
Yeah.
money line. You see it at 34.50.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to do that myself. I'm going to put 100 on it.
Okay. Dollars, you're saying, right?
$100. Yep.
Okay. All right. Let's do it. We're in. So we just put $100. Again, you could buy it in shares. You could buy it in dollars. So we just put $100, the equivalent of 2.8571 shares. So now we're in for $115.50 at an average cost of $34.04. So we're up $2 now. We made $1.50 basically from that.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that. I got the same position. So I'm up $1.45.
Okay. Love that for us.
Go.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Yep.
There you go. Do you have the games on by any chance?
Let's see. Well, I got every game on. I don't have the TV on just yet. I just got home, but I have.
Gotcha.
I have ESPN up, so I have.
Okay.
Let's see. Indiana's up 5 in the third quarter. You know what? When we have game state data down, we should put which channel the game is if it's nationally televised. I think that's such a cool feature.
Oh,
I think
love that,
Action
yeah.
Network does that. So hey, tune in to TNT, right? Or even cooler, like showing when the game's in timeout or something like that. So,
Yeah.
do you have any action on Knicks Miami?
I do. I have the Heat. So I just put that up. So I've got 2 contracts of the Heat, 2 shares of the Heat at an average of 54. So I bought it at 59 and then bought it again at 49. So here we are, up $20 right now with those 2 shares. Heat are up.
That's right, because they went down.
Yeah, Heat are up 42-37. They were down, I think, 11-2 to start that game. So that's why I swooped in.
Right. I heard you do that. I think that's such a good idea because sometimes the team goes down 7 or 8 or 9, but it's, it's 2 minutes into the game and you're basically, that bet you're making there is like, do I think this game's going to be close? If I think the game's going to be close, you buy it now because there's going to be some point later where the price is going to be higher. I love that trade.
Yeah. Hornets and Bulls approaching the end of the first, 24-20 Bulls. Probably not going to be betting on that one, just to be honest. So something that is potentially interesting here. So about halfway through the third quarter between Lakers and Pacers, only 24 points have been scored. So I want to go look at the under here.
Okay.
The under 232, now 77 plus 68. You're the math guy, but I've got my calculator here.
Okay.
Is, let's see, 145. Do we think there will be 90 more points scored in this game? It's just $15.50 per share.
I mean, it's the same thing. I love that because all you're basically betting on at that point is, do I think there's going to be more of a slowdown in this game? Because if there is, what a great trade. $15.50. I mean, that's such a low cost.
I'm going to do it. Let's do it. I'm going to put $50 on that one. So I'm going to switch from shares to dollars. And now it went up to 16.5. So the under is trending up here. All right. So if you're watching this, I bought 21.5 shares. Oh, wait. I think I completely bungled that. That's okay. I think I accidentally bought in shares instead of contracts. Hey.
I love it.
My bad. But hey, look, we got a nice healthy position there.
You just spooked the market so far up.
I did. Now it's at 20.
It's
Yeah.
up at 20.
Yeah, I spooked it so much I just made myself $12 on that mistake. Good job by me. Great. Well, hey, now we're up $84 on the night. Again, I'm hot right now, Alex. There's literally nothing I can touch that isn't going to be scalding hot.
Look at that. The market makers spooked when you did that. They were just like, get out of this guy's way.
My wife is staring at me like, please stop talking like that. So I'm up. I got green on every single bet right now. So the portfolio is popping. We're dominating. Insert whatever book it by Trent lingo you want to, in this space.
That's
here.
got to be some record. Like, look at this. That's unbelievable.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bets now. The Memphis has dipped a smidge here. Looks like they're down 1, 45-44. Oh, no, they're up 1, 44-43. I think my YouTube TV might be a couple minutes behind, though.
Yeah, but look at this, though. Are you still over on the you still have your bet on this game?
I do. Yeah, up 25-50. What, 44-53 right now with with a quarter and a half gone. So maybe not that surprising. This is a big money winner for me right now. Up $28.
I'm going to do that right now. I just sold out. I bought in the over when you or Greg were talking about it for $100 and just sold out for $128 right there.
Oh,
so there
nice.
you go.
Beautiful. So walk me through that
return.
again. How much did you make?
So I put in, so you were talking about the over with Greg, and I don't know if you were talking about the over of this game, but he's kind of talking about the game would be close or whatever, game's close. So I put in $100 at over 223.5, and I just cashed out for $129. So I just made $29. Yeah. Nice little 29% return.
Love it. It's a beautiful trade. Beautiful trade. That's what we're doing here. Let's just take a quick spin. Heat up $21. That particular bet. Grizzlies now up $2. And again, we have 3.35 shares of the Grizz. We have inadvertently 21.5 shares of the under in this game, but that's okay. Again, that's looking. Oh, that's a different game. That's on the Lakers and Pacers. If only that were on this game. Pacers, by the way, back up to $21 up per share here. 78.70 to score here. Again, we got that at 47.5. It's up at 71.5 right now. So up $24 there. Lakers did make a bit of a push. They got it to within 5, but they've fallen back yet again.
I'm seeing the Lakers are down 5 points. Is that right?
You may be. I have it 79.70.
I see that now. It just updated for me on my ESPN.
Okay.
See, that's what I have. So this is what I'm going to do here, Dan. I have Pacers money line. I got in at, as I mentioned, about $49 a share. They're up at 66.5. I'm just gonna clean that out. Sell everything. Okay. $193 in the pocket, which is nice. And I'm going to flip sides here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy in on the Lakers. And I just think that, this is a little bit of a ball game here. They close up that gap. I'm going to make some money. So I'm going to buy the Lakers now. And their share price is $34.50. So what I'll do is I'll put 100 on that.
All right, so I'm going to mimic your deal here so the people at home can see. So we were selling the Pacers. We're going to clear out the Pacers. Mm-hmm. So we made $24.50 on that. And then we're going to go buy the Lakers.
Yep. Love it.
The Lakers right now are at 29. And you're going to say $100 in the Lakers.
Yep. That's what I just did. You got in a better price than I did. That's
there you go. Whereas you were spooking the markets, or I was spooking the markets, they're not afraid of you. I don't know why.
Yeah, they're coming the other way.
Grizzlies took a dip there. Let's turn our attention to. Must have updated differently. Okay, never mind. The over, Grizz and Cavs, over 223 is up $28. Now that to me is peculiar because nobody's scoring points.
That's why I got out of that one.
Yeah. 51.47 with 442. No, I guess that makes sense. You're almost at 100, right? There's still about 5 minutes left. Okay, that one makes a little more sense. Okay.
I love it. What's the TNT game?
The TNT game is the Grizzlies and the Cavs, which is in a commercial right now. So we just had a big trade come in, actually. A big bet come in. Knicks minus 5.5. 37 shares at $24.71.
That's a big trade. What was the trade again?
The trade was Knicks minus 5.5 against the Heat.
Yep.
36.5 shares at an average cost of $24.71.
Oh, that's a low price.
That is a low price. Low. Yeah.
Customers like to buy low. I like that strategy.
Yeah. Seems to work from time to time.
Well, we had a customer 56 minutes ago. Speaking of the opposite of buy low, someone laid down $1,500 to win 7. That Ben Martin would not win the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. I'll repeat that for a second. Someone bet $1,500 to win $7.
Wow.
That Ben Martin would not win the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. So
free money.
Free money. Except when it's not. Now,
yeah, right.
Okay, look at that. 199 to 1 that bet is. And you're thinking to yourself, like, okay, let's think about this for a second. Let's say that he's in the final round on Sunday.
Well, I'm gonna pull up the standing. So who was it again?
It's Ben Martin.
Okay.
Went to Virginia. Graduated, probably started about 10, 12 years ago.
Okay, so Ben Martin is actually tied for 8th.
Yeah, see, that's pretty insane to me that someone would do this.
Mm-hmm. He's 5 under. Right, he's 3 shots back.
All right, so let's think about this. He's 3 shots back. Now let's think about this. He's tied in the lead on Sunday in the back 9. You got to think that he has a real chance of winning at that point. So now your $1,500 bet may be worth $600-700. Do you take the loss, or do you ride it out to that last putt to make $7.60 that he doesn't win?
I think if you're in a position where you're putting that much money down on him anyway, I think you're riding it out.
Yeah.
regardless.
I mean, you don't want to be the person that cashes that one out and then he loses, because then you've lost money. Yeah.
I still think, obviously, the odds are very much in his favor that he will come out on top. But we actually see a lot of those sort of short positions on the app where, people like the Golden Knights a couple weeks ago. I think we had a better short them for like 200 shares or something like that to win the Stanley Cup in our futures markets.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at this right now, Dan, and I haven't had a chance to check the whale tracker today. We have had people short sell. That's simple. It just means they're betting against. Someone bet against Will Gordon, put in 1,000 to win 10. Someone bet against Chad Ramey, put down 1,000 to win $18. Someone bet against Scott Stallings, put down 1,000 to win $10. Someone bet against Victor Hovland, put down 1,000 to win $165. Wow. Someone bet against Seamus Power, put down 1,300 to win 25. Someone bet against Maverick McNeely. This is the amazing thing, right? Is we open up this whole new world of like you can bet against. Like how many times you watch a game on TV or you watch like thinking to yourself like, oh, this team's overvalued or this player's overvalued. Being able to take the other side and say, I don't think that Seamus Power is going to win the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. How cool is that?
Well, it's amazing, especially in tournament styles. I mean, think about the value going into last weekend's AFC, NFC championship games, right? Whereas so many times during a regular season for a sport, if you want to buy no on somebody, right? If you want to buy or bet against the team winning a championship, you're laying $90, $85 per share. But in that scenario, right, like if you were fading the Bengals or the Niners, you would only have to lay like 72, something like that, right, per share, as opposed to some of the longer ones. So like as the season goes on, would you rather bet on a single team or the field? And no one knows what's going to happen. I think betting on the field is a great opportunity that you really don't find in many other places. Just want to remind folks, because we still have like 75 people watching on Twitter, some people watching on Twitch. If you download the app right now, we are giving away a $300 risk-free bet up to $300. So download. Your first bet is on us up to $300. If it loses, that'll get refunded in cash, not in credits. And if you win, hey, you won. It's great. Keep that dough. Keep playing. Do whatever you want with it. We've got some really cool stuff coming tomorrow, presumably, Alex, as well. We're doing a lot of really cool things for customers. Obviously, our Super Bowl, not allowed to say it, but I'll say Super Bowl promo is going to go out tomorrow. It is amazing, objectively. Obviously, I work here, but it is objectively awesome. You're going to love it. And it, in my opinion, better than every other promo I've seen out there from any other person or company in the betting landscape. So keep your eyes peeled for that.
Yeah, that's going to be really exciting. Do we spill the beans, or we're doing props, or we can't tell everybody that just till tomorrow?
You just mentioned it, so let's talk about it.
It's going to be incredible. The amount of props we're about to list is, I have concern for our market makers and their well-being. In fact, I texted Rufus, as I told you today, and Jack, and I said I have concerns about, because I think the really crazy thing is like, okay, think about all the fun Super Bowl props you can do. Like, will a team score in the last 2 minutes of the first half? Will there be a missed extra point? Will the game go to overtime? This isn't just like place your bet before the game type stuff. This has got the sport trade twist on it, right?
Yeah.
Which means all of that stuff, anytime touchdown score, you're going to be able to bet and cash out in play. You just talked about like being able to bet no on, I don't think Patrick Mahomes is going to rush for a touchdown. Like you did it on last week's stream. The guy did it on the last play from scrimmage of the game. Like you can trade that up to the last play. So I think it's going to be a blast. And
don't sell it prematurely. Just a word of the wise. Don't make the same mistake your friend Dan did. Well, I jinxed us. I jinxed myself. I jinxed us. Let's go back out to the portfolio. Every money line winner we have now is losing. The Cavaliers are now up 10 on the Grizzlies. The Knicks have come back, taking a lead over the Heat. And the Lakers, which we bought at a disadvantaged position, continue to trail. But our totals are crushing. over 239 in the Lakers game, up under 232 in the Lakers game. So we've got sort of a mix mash there. That's up. And then over 223 in the Grizzlies and Cavs is doing very well as well.
That's great. I screwed us with this whole Pacers thing. I just thought to myself, these games, as you know, I mean, I've looked at the app sometimes. I'm like, oh, this team's at 30. And then 5 minutes later, I'm like, they're at 90. Holy cow.
I know.
How is that?
Especially on basketball too, right? Like you can never sleep on it. You got to be vigilant when trading on basketball.
Yeah, you never know. There was a game, the Sixers, that game about 2 months ago, they played the Lakers, where the Lakers scored 9 points in like 13 seconds of game time. You just never know. You just never know. And I think at a certain point, when you hit 95%, so someone says, Dan, I will give you 95 cents on the dollar for your bet. When you're talking about NBA, it's like, come on, it's not a bad play. It's basically saying, do you want 95% of your bet back? 95% of your return. And it's like, okay, for that to take off the stress and only pay the 5%, it's a good play a lot of the time.
One of my favorite sayings, new favorite sayings, comes from our COO, David Huffman, who says nothing good happens after 90. I love that. And so true. Last week we were trading on the Sixers and Nets, and they were at 94, and I was like, what's the point? They're going to win the game. They did win the game, but they ended up going down to like 75 for a long stretch. And for a while there, I was feeling like I really screwed myself. So nothing good happens after 90.
Yeah, it's a great, it's they say that about prediction markets. When I used to use Predict It and used to be betting on all that sort of stuff, 90 is where, you want to take your gains, get out, watch, enjoy the rest of whatever you're watching. I'm just surprised how many people are betting no on all these golfers. It's pretty amazing because, wow. I mean, Dan, would you ever bet $1,500 to win 7?
No, probably not. Can't say that I would. But what's interesting is, Matt Garcia talked about this on one of our live streams. Some people see that as just like a return on an investment, like whatever. They'll take their 2 or 3% and they'll move on. Mm-hmm. I don't see it that. I don't see it that way. But hey, who's to judge? So something interesting here. So the under 232.5 in Lakers Pacers. We got this at, remember, $15. Look where it's at now. We are up $270. Now 98, but even still, we're up $98 on this trade. It was a volatile market. So it's 96.84 at the end of the third quarter here. We're up 87.25 right now. 87.25. It doesn't have to go over or under. It doesn't have to go under. You can go over. We just made $100. Get 108. 108. Hurry up. There you go. 85.50. You just made 85.50. Well, we have half a share left.
I love that. And that all came from you placing a huge bet where you wanted to bet $50 and you bet 50 shares. I love it.
Yeah. And we still have half of a share. So we're still up $2.
Yeah, I love it.
So let's just clear the board here and reassess. Now, is it worth to take some of that money and go back on the over?
Maybe, but the over is going to be priced at 83 or whatever it is.
Yeah, 83.5 right now. 96,
let me ask you this, Dan.
Yeah, 96.84.
What's your favorite price to buy at, regardless of the game? But what's your what you look at something and you like? Is it something up in the 60s? Is it something down in the teens? Like, what's your price?
Oh, that's a great question. It's definitely price and time sensitive, right? It depends on how much time is remaining in a game. It depends on the team. It depends on everything. All those things considered, anywhere I can build volume, I'm a big fan of. So if I can get something between like 23 to 35, I love that, right? And because I'm not thinking, hey, this team's going to win or this total's going to hit. I'm thinking there's an opportunity and enough time left in this game where I can either see a big gain, or if I start to lose, there's not a ton of place for it to go, right? So I'm not going to lose a ton if it starts to become a loser. To me, it's only upside. And if you have 2, 3, 4 shares, right? Whereas sometimes we list the Eagles at like 85, 88, 87 pregame. So why not take the opponent at
Yep.
23, which happened this year in the Jacksonville Jaguars game. The Jaguars, I think, were 23, went up 14-0. So we had people buy them at 23, sell them at 60, buy the Eagles at 40, and the Eagles win the game. So I love that.
No, that's great. That's I like that. 23, 25, somewhere in there, 27.
Yeah. So I'm calling timeout. We're going to call this timeout of the show, which means it is time for our nightly nightcap. This is halftime on the program.
Love it. Is that the the rabbit hole?
No. So we had Rabbit Hole 2 streams ago. This is a delicious wild turkey masterclass edition. It was a wedding gift from, consequently, our head of design. Matt Schwartz got this for me. Finished in sherry casks. So it actually tastes like a thick wine, but it is a bourbon, and it is delicious. So if anyone out there is having a Friday Eve drink, cheers.
Love that.
To trade in the game. Yeah. Friday Eve drink.
I mean, you just made that in funny money dollars buying and selling the under in this Lakers game.
I could buy a whole bottle of this.
It's amazing. It really does. Like, this really does unlock just a whole new way of thinking about betting. You know, like, how many times you know, and this is like, I'm a bettor, right? And this happens all the time, and I'm looking at something, and I'll give you a perfect example. I think the Grizzlies. Who are the Grizzlies playing today?
Grizzlies are playing the Cavaliers.
I'm pretty sure the Grizzlies were pretty big dogs. Is that right? There's a game. I'll go on. Yeah. They were about 32, 33 per game. That would have been the equivalent probability. So many times I go in and I'm a nut. So I bet everything in one share. So even if I'm on points, better DraftKings or whatever, they were like 32 or 33. And I look at it and I buy it and whatever. And then I check in halftime. And in fact, I just got a notification and it's like things are going well or whatever. They're not going well in this game. And I'm like, this is a winner. And then you wake up the next morning and it's a loser. And you're like, But the problem is that when you go to cash out, like, even you're starting to look at it, you're like, this doesn't seem right. This bet's about to hit, and they're giving me 80 cents on the dollar. And so you start to think to yourself, well, maybe I shouldn't cash out, because then if I do, I'm not getting my full value. It's gone. Like, you get full value here, and I think that's incredible. And as Greg pointed out, no spinny wheels, right? Like,
Noticed
think about
it right away, yeah.
It's made. You've probably made 15, 20 trades on this live stream. You've already saved yourself 2 minutes of your life. We've given 2 minutes of your life not waiting for the odds to change on you.
Thank you, Alex Kane. Let's go back to something we literally just talked about, which is finding that value. The Grizzlies are down 67-54 at half.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they're not good away from home. They're 11-15 at home, but they're trading at $11.50 right now. We have 3.3 shares, an average cost of 34. If we were to put 34 more dollars in, we would have 6.5 shares almost, and really drive down our cost basis. There's still another half of basketball to play. This to me feels like an obvious buy low.
Yep.
Time and opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go ahead and put in $100 here.
Yep.
Which will net us. We have a price change of 12. It'll net us. I did it again. 100 shares. Don't do that again. So that'll net us, let's see, 8.3 shares. And just like that, look at that. We just went from a cost basis of 34 to 18. So now all they have to do to return a profit on this is get above 18.5% to win the basketball game. That's it.
So, they're down what? They're down 13? So you're basically, can they close the lead to like 6 in the third quarter? Like, that's basically the bet here.
Yeah. Yep.
I like it. I did the same thing. I had 100 at 35%, $35 a share. And then I just did another $100 worth at $11.50. And we have that number there, Dan, that average cost. That's just like, it basically just tells you, like, if you, all of the trades, all the bets you just made, if we just averaged them all out, what's your average price per share? Yours is what, 18?
Yep, 1843. Can I share a stat with you?
Yeah, that's what you got.
Who do you think is the number one scoring team in the third quarter in the NBA this year?
Is it the Memphis Grizzlies?
It is indeed, sir, the Memphis Grizzlies.
Let's go.
31.3 points per game in the third quarter alone.
Should we go and buy the over somewhere there? Or are you already on the over or what?
Can I tell you? Here's another guess.
Okay.
Who do you think is the second lowest scoring third quarter team coming out of the locker room?
Is it the Cleveland Cavaliers?
It just so happens to be the Cleveland
is-
Cavaliers. Let's
All right.
go. Come on.
That's amazing. It's amazing. So here's what I'm going to do then.
Yeah.
I see Grizzlies plus 10.5 points. That's 41.5.
Okay.
I mean, I'm going to put 100 on that.
Okay.
So now I have. So that's what I'm going to do there. That's my trade. So I did $100 on Grizzlies plus 10.5 points.
We got Eagles on the brain here. Yeah, so Lakers are down, Grizzlies are down, but that's okay. Heat are actually down too. Let's get a check on that score. 51-48, that game's at half. This game's at half. Pacers, Lakers, which is not on television, unfortunately. 9:21 left. It's 98-90. Let's go back to that. We sold out of the under. So I do have the over 239. That's got to get moving a little bit.
Yeah.
It's got to get moving.
What's that down to? You got to be down. What'd you put in? What was your initial bet?
58.5. It's down right now. I could sell it back for 28.5, so I'd lose 25.
Yeah, I mean, and you're betting on the Lakers too. You have the Lakers as well.
On the over. Yeah, I also have the Lakers.
So you're kind of doubled up there. Like, so
Yeah.
that game only hits the over if the Lakers make it close.
Right.
So you kind of have two birds, one scone situation there.
But it's only an 8-point game. Only 8-point game. 98-90.
Listen, I have the Lakers right here. I have $100. I bet 100 at 31.50, and then I have Grizzlies. I have $200. Average price per share of $17. So
Okay.
we're looking for a little bit of comeback.
Chuck H., thanks for liking us on Twitter.
If Chuck is in New Jersey, he's going to absolutely love this app. What do you
Come
think?
on,
Dan?
Chuck. Come on, Chuck. Absolutely. I love this app. I live in New Jersey. I'm an average man.
Chuck, if you download the app and create an account, I'll text you right now. This is what we do.
There you go.
Dan, once it hits 7 at 8 p.m., it's Ops Alex comes out. It's all about customer. It's about. I called a customer last night, and this customer had dabbled in some stock trading before, dabbled in some betting, and I noticed right away he was doing limit orders. He got his friend next to him on the couch. They were betting against each other. It's great. Like you get used to it. You try it out, and I think that's why the $300 risk-free bet's so great, because things don't go right. You follow us schmucks and you buy the Lakers to win, and it put $100 down. It loses. We'll give you the $100 back. You try it again, and so that's the whole thing for Sport Trade is we want to make it risk-free to try it out.
Smith Soccer checking in. Our first comment. Let's go, Smith Soccer 2008. Let's go, buddy. Let's do something, Alex. If you're watching this on Twitter, and 65 of you are, let's do something. If you sign up for Sport Trade right now, would you text them, Alex? Will you have a text conversation with them right now? You can literally talk to the CEO right now.
I will call you.
Alex will call you on the air.
I'll call you.
Alex will call you on there. If you're watching this on Twitter, 65 of you, download Sport Trade right now. Send us on Twitter a screenshot of of the markets page, and we will call you right now.
100%.
Yeah, 90 of you now. We have 90 viewers on Sport Trade.
Love
or
this.
on Twitter. Let's do it. Send us.
Dan, it's great. Literally last night I found an ARB like between DraftKings and Sport Trade, and I was like, okay, the next customer that signs up, I'm going to call them and tell us about them. And I did, and someone did it. And then ultimately, our friend Mark Goldberg, Goldie,
yes, love him.
He's great. He made a lot of money. We just had a big whale tracker print, by the way. So we have Heat Knicks. That's a game that's at half. Knicks lead 3 by 3, 51-48. Someone just bought 47.5 shares of the under 197.5, all the way down at 37. We're talking about that sweet spot price. That means someone went into an alternate spread there, alternate total, and said, I think the game's going to go under 197.5. That's down at 37%. It's a big trade, $1,700.
I'm a big fan of Walt. The only thing I'm not a fan of is he likes to criticize my speech patterns. Other than that, Walt just commented on the live stream. Mark, pardon me. But I know you're stuck in PA. Walt, well, if you want to make any trades, let us know. We'll do it live here on the air. Thanks for checking in on the chat as well. Likes to make fun of the speech patterns. Other than that, great guy. Love him.
Yeah. And you know what's great? He's the type of customer. He started out advantage better. Definitely knows what he's doing. But he's really started to get into like the magic of sports. So he texted me the other day. I should have copied this. 5 weeks ago, he goes, I want to get on the whale track or whatever. He buys the Bruins. Bought like 50 shares of the Bruins to win the Stanley Cup. They were down like less than 10% at this point. And I'm thinking, oh, Mark, like, do you have an ARB? That's interesting. Like, are you offsetting this somewhere else? And he's like, no, I get Sport Trade now. That liquidity is going to be there for me to cash out at a real value later. I just think they're going to go on a run. And then like 2 weeks ago, everyone's talking about the Bruins. I'm like, the Bruins, like, didn't someone tell me about the Bruins? And I'm like, oh, Goldie, he bought them. And you know what he's already done? He's already sold the Bruins. Like, that's it. That's it right there. Like, if you just taking a directional bet and saying, I think they're going to have a hot January. And boy, did they have a hot January.
I mean, they were like 35-5-4 at one point. Like, they were on pace for one of the best records in NHL history.
It's ridiculous.
Just insane.
And then I'm 5 weeks late. I'm like, I'm going to buy in. And then I look and it's now at 30% or whatever it is. I'm like, that's just not a good bet.
So situation brewing here. Again, we will call you on the broadcast if you sign up for Sport Trade right now. Lakers are within 6, and we're down just $8.62 on this bet. We have 3.5 shares at $29 per share. We have an opportunity here, Alex, to maybe buy a couple more and lower that cost basis and maybe earn money right now.
You know what? We did have just a customer, Brittany H, signed up. Not going to give the full name, obviously.
Yeah.
It's protect your identity. Last login was at 8:41. Brittany deposited $300.
Hey, Brittany.
That's amazing. Brittany, incredible.
Thank you, Brittany. Now, if you're watching the live stream, Brittany, let us know. We'll call you. Maybe you don't want to be called. But thank you. That's amazing. Thank you to Brittany. $300 deposit, taking advantage of that $300 risk-free bet. There you go. Our first download during the show. That's amazing. Thank you, Brittany.
It's great. And sometimes I call people and they're like, because we will text you. That is not a lie. We will literally text you. And it is a human. You are looking at the humans that text you.
Yeah.
And people are like, I never didn't think there was a human behind, because that's a service you get at these other sites, right? 97th in the queue or whatever. And so I'll call people and they'll just, hello? Yeah, this is Alex for Sport Trade. Really? Okay. Yeah, I did have a question. How does this work? It's great because once somebody gets it, then it's like, well, do you have a friend? And actually, I have a couple friends that would really like this.
Right.
And this is a totally new way to bet, right? And this is a really fun way to bet. It's kind of like once you get it, you get it. And so I think we're doing a good job, like getting folks to that aha moment of like, and I'll follow along. Like, we had a customer last night. His name is Arsha, and Arsha like bought the Grizzlies or brought the Trailblazers or whatever it was. And then I checked in. I'm like, you're up right now. I get on the phone with him and I'm like, yo, you see this? Like you bought 3 shares. It's up $10. You're up $30. He's like, yeah. I'm like, yes. So sell one. He sells one. You could just like see the light bulb moment happen.
Yeah. No, it's amazing. I think most people who watch and observe the content, right, and then they try it for the first time, they think, oh, this is super cool. Like, you have that aha moment, like you mentioned. And I think it's going to happen more and more frequently as people hopefully tune into the live stream and are watching this as a companion piece to games that they have on. Like, for example, Lakers 90, we did it already. We lowered our cost basis already enough to a point earlier where we ended up making money already, right? We bought super low on a total, made $80. And I'm really thinking about doing it again. 7:04 here left in the fourth. Lakers only down 6. We have them at a super low cost right now.
Another
yesterday?
huge whale trade. My gosh,
What
it's
was it?
great. Knicks -5.5.
Oh, another
So
one.
Knicks.
Okay.
So I think the second half is underway there.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
learning that.
Knicks are up 60 to 48 right now. 9-0 run to start the half.
Oh, that. Talk about a momentum trade. Now we
Yeah.
just added this feature recently. If there's a cash out over a certain amount of profit, we'll also put that on the whale tracker. There was a customer last night that made 70% in the matter
Wow.
of minutes. And that's the thing. Like when you think of it that way, you think about betting in the percent return. Like I looked at the stock market today, and Coinbase is up 20%. And think like that's mammoth. Like you don't really get one ticker, one stock that moves up that much. And then you kind of think about like a sports bet, and this is like you're talking about Matt Grecia. It's the same kind of thing. It's like, well, 15% up 15%. That's pretty good. And we already did that. I bought a bet at $100. I think it was the Grizzlies under that you were on, or Grizzlies over, and it was up and it was worth 120, and I sold it. Like when you think of it that way, you're like, okay, 20% in one night. People don't really think about betting that way, but when you think of it that way, you're like, what, that's pretty good. I might like take this cash out and
Right.
not wait to the end, because
Right.
20%, I mean, that's pretty good.
Well, we do the show about twice a week, depending on the sports calendar, right? So we did the AFC Championship game on Sunday. That was awesome. We had like 70,000 viewers. That was amazing. Ton of people in the chat. A ton of fun. We had a lot of fun that night. So feel free to hop into the chat yourselves, all of you on Twitter, people on Twitch, YouTube as well.
You kind of have the Lakers here just climbing back into it, right? We just put in,
Yeah.
I don't know what you put in, but we just put in again at average, I think it was like $12. They're up to
Oh, you did?
16.5. Yeah, so I mean, you and I both, we had them at like some price, and then we bought more, right? Oh, no. I'm thinking the wrong thing. Lakers. But the Lakers were down big, and now they're starting to make it back up 19.
Yeah. So 104.96 there, 8-point game with 6:28 left. So we're monitoring that one.
Yeah.
The Knicks have jumped out to a 9-0 spurt here in the third. They're up 60 to 48. So our Heat trade that once looked so promising is now down $60.
You know what's interesting, Dan? This is an interesting situation. So we mentioned the Grizzlies, and you said one of the best scoring the third quarter teams.
Yep.
They're playing the Cavs. They're one of the worst offense performance in the third quarter. So we bought more Grizzlies at a price of like 12%, $12 a share.
Yep.
But then I also went in and I bought Grizzlies plus 10.5. Interestingly, that bet's a little bit up, whereas the Grizzlies is still down. So I think what's happening is like the market's starting to realize that like the Grizzlies may not win, but they may not lose by more than 11. And so I might at least win that Grizzlies plus 10.5 bet.
Grizzlies come out of the gate, hit a 3. So now they're only down. Oh, they called it a 2. So they're down 11. But again, we bought so low, they just have to get above 18.5% to win the game, and then we're in the green. Of course, on the other end, Hoop and the harm for Okoro. So wipe away the positive momentum from that 3.
Dan, here's a market we have for our customers in New Jersey that I think is really cool. And we're getting a ton of action on it last night particularly. And that is, in which game will LeBron James break the scoring record?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. The favorite was February 9th versus the Milwaukee Bucks. Market's all out of whack now as he's scoring, teams are scoring. This probably gets really tough to price because load management, like Greg was talking about, like they sit some great defensive players on the Golden State Warriors, then the probability of LeBron scoring a ton on February 11th against the Golden State Warriors goes up. So you could bet based on that alone, right?
Yeah.
Which is very interesting. So I think that's a cool market for us for customers to bet around in.
Gregory David, thanks for the like on Twitter. Much appreciated. Yeah, LeBron tonight has 21 points. Lakers again, 5:35 left, down 8 points. LeBron's got 21, 6 assists, 5 rebounds. I don't know how many points away he is. I'm sure somebody on the internet has like a live tracker or something.
On how many?
LeBron James scoring tracker. There you go. LeBron James, 89 points away from Kareem. So let's pull up that. Let's see if that market will show up in our lower environment. It may not. If not,
I don't think it will.
Yeah, that's okay.
I'm busy texting our friend Brittany H.
Oh, you are?
300. Yeah, why not?
Hey,
hasn't deployed it yet. And,
okay, taking her time.
A lot of great things to do that on.
Yeah, taking her time. Well, tell Brittany we said hello, and thanks for checking out the live stream, presumably.
Yeah.
Yeah, so LeBron, 89 career points away from passing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Now he averages, let's see, LeBron is averaging, I think, 29 a game, if memory serves. Let's see.
I mean, how? But just like pause there for a second. That's incredible. Like how?
He's 38 years old.
But his son is less than 2 years away from playing in the league.
I know. It's pretty wild.
They need to suspend the tampering rules for that. Like, don't you want to see? I mean, has that ever happened before in the NBA?
It has not. No, it has not. Ken Griffey Jr. played with Ken Griffey Sr. in baseball.
And they hit back-to-back home runs.
Yes. My favorite baseball player of all time. Now all of a sudden, this is not loading. So. Okay. Well, rest assured, he scores a lot of points.
He does. What did you say he was averaging this year? 29 a game?
I think so. I'm trying to find it. My internet was crapping out a little bit.
So we are dipping our toes into player props, which I think player props, game props, whatever.
Yeah, 30.2.
Player props here for the Super Bowl, and I think that's going to give. A lot of customers expect stuff like that, and I think that's great to be able to match that expectation. I think that we're going to be here in a couple months from now, and we're going to be live betting LeBron James over 30 plus points.
Oh, amazing! And it's going to be
it's going to be the same thing, right? So he scores 15 points in the first quarter, and now the probability of him to score 30 or more goes from 50 to 80. You sell, then you take the under at 20. That's the opportunities for this are endless. It's people say you get involved, you do the money line, the 2 win because it's the win probability, and then you start the total and like we've done in the spread. But it's anything. Think about any bet has a probability of occurring. And Sport Trade is going to tell you that price, that probability, and you can bet and cash out based on that probability changing. Money line's an easy way to think about it. Futures are easy way to think about it. Will the Eagles win the Super Bowl? But this gets really fun for think about this, like LeBron James, 38.5 point rebound and assists for a given game. I'm trading that.
So not to cut you off, Alex, but Grizzlies have cut it to 3, and we're up $50. That's why you buy the dip. That's why you do it. All right, so let's play this out. Pull up the Prod app on your side. Mm-hmm. So LeBron is averaging 30 points per game. They're playing in Indiana right now. He currently has 21, so presumably he'll score a few more, perhaps not 30. But there's 3 minutes left. 3 minutes left. Lakers are down 1. Come on now.
Well, we have bigger news here. The Lakers are down 1.
Come on now. LeBron's got 21. AD's got 29. They're up. Let's see, 106, 104. So the over is dead. Over is not going to happen. But the Lakers may pull this out. And we have over 3 shares from $29 for a potential profit of $240. Okay, so you've got that market pulled up in Prod.
But hold on. But what about the Grizzlies? Are you talking what about the Grizzlies? We bought that 11 at 22.
I know. We're up 41-69 there.
Unbelievable. I think it's unbelievable. I'm gonna sell out of the 10.5 just to take some money off the table. I put in $100.
Yeah.
Sport Trade's giving me 157.
Eddie just chimed in. My friends, Eddie, we had a guest come on earlier. When they jumped off, it crashed the live stream. Otherwise, I would love to have you on the live stream with me and Alex.
You've got to get him on to do live NBA.
Yeah, okay. Eddie, if you want to come on, I will
Oh, no, it
text
doesn't have to be
you.
today. I'm just saying at some point we
No,
need Eddie on.
I'm saying I will fix the screen to where Eddie can join us for a little while. If you want to, Eddie, text me. We exchanged cell phone numbers today. You text me if you want to come on, and I will make it happen.
So
Okay, in any event. So LeBron averages 30 points a game, right? Looking at the schedule, presumably he scores a couple more points tonight. He is 87 points away from Kareem. So you're looking at maybe 3 games. He's at New Orleans, the Lakers are, Saturday. Home against Oklahoma City, Tuesday, February 7th. Home versus Milwaukee, February 9th, before they go to Golden State. What is that Milwaukee game trading at?
the last known price, because there's a lot going on right now. So there's actually not a live quote on that market. The last known price sitting at $47.
Okay, that makes sense.
I kind of like that. There was a lot of people taking the no on this one. I mean, a lot of people taking the no on this particular game, which was an
Interesting.
under. So this is going to be interesting to see where this opens up after this slate of NBA games, because this could go from 55 to 65, 65, 70, something like that.
Yeah.
He's got 21 points. This game goes to overtime. I mean, there's so much that goes into this pricing. What's going on in the Lakers here? By the way, so we said Grizzlies plus 10.5. I put in 100. I just sold out for 157.
Oh, you did?
Very
Okay.
easy math, right? 57% return. How easy is that?
I love it. Love it. We're up 59.
All you said to me is that they
59
score
right
a
now.
lot. Easy.
So let's see. The score is
Oh, look at the Lakers price.
75-72. What do we got? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go, Lakers. All right, we're flipping over to the Lakers right now. Lakers
great.
are... I got to update my screen here. This game not being on TV is brutal. 106-105 with 3 minutes left is what I'm seeing.
Goldie just gave us a retweet. Love it.
Love it. Love it. Thank you, Goldie. Goldie, you got to get in the chat, my friend. Come on now.
Goldie, I think Goldie's one of our smarter customers. Goldie found that he could, bet on DraftKings, for, LeBron to break the record on February 11th, home versus the Bucks, as you just said. And Sporttrade is the only place where you can actually bet him to not do that on February 11th. And he did it. It's a kind of a complex thing, but essentially he's buying an asset on one venue for one price and he's selling it on Sports for another price. He's making a risk-free profit.
Right.
So he's got no skin on his back, and he's made a couple $100 doing a little thing called an arbitrage. It's very exciting. Yes, the Lakers are at $49 right now, Dan. What do we do?
Well, I'm up 70. I think they may win the ball game. We got 3 minutes left. This thing's about to slow down to a nice, easy pace. Both teams are okay. They're not great, but I like the matchups here, considering Russell Westbrook's not on the court. I just want to see where this thing goes. I'd love to be able to watch it. I can't watch it, but I'd love to be able to watch it. But we are up $32 right now. Excuse me. Cleveland up 4 on Memphis. Let's just check back real quick how that's doing. Look at this. The Heat back up. The Heat are back up.
There's so much volatility. It's a roller coaster.
It
you know what we
is.
should have, Dan? This is a feature we should have. If the game goes in the last 5 minutes, it should just be straight out of time, like highway to the danger zone. Like
I know. I love it.
Danger zone, like Memphis Grizzlies, danger zone. LA Lakers, danger zone. Miami Heat, danger zone. If you have a chance to make money now, if you blink, it could be red. You have to look out.
So the Heat have clawed their way
Look
back.
at the Lakers, Dan.
66, 67. What am I getting myself into? Let's look at the Lakers.
Lakers.
Wrong one. No, let's go. Let's go. 108, 106. 2 minutes left. Just popped my top off. Celebrating that.
That's great.
Oh, Pacers just came down. Buddy Hield a 26-foot three-pointer to retake the lead. Yikes. Okay. So now we're looking at a situation where the market is volatile. So maybe we should have sold out because we'll see what happens with that one.
Our market makers are working on that. They want to get to the point where we're doing the whole game. As we mentioned, the danger zone. I mean, in the last minute of a ball game, you could literally go from 1 to 100. And so it gets to the point where it's too hot. You got to step out of the kitchen type situation. And that can happen in the last 2 minutes. We're working on that. For the March Madness, we talked about this, Dan. We want to get to the point where at least at the timeouts within the last 10, 15, 20 seconds, we can have a market. But it's an important thing to know as you're going into this, like, yeah, you can trade up into that like second to last whistle. That last whistle, there's a point at which like there's 10 seconds left in the game. You put down the phone, you watch the game because it's not going to be a market.
It makes total sense. So the Pacers out 109-108. The Grizzlies have crawled back within 5, but we're still down here. So perhaps blaming myself for not getting out of that one. This looks like a buyout candidate right here. The over 223.5 Grizzlies Cavaliers. We could sell this right now for 91.5. Up 46.50. Once the market returns.
Yeah, you can still sell it there for 91.5. It looks like what's that game? Let's see, Grizzlies Cavaliers. How many points have been
81-76. So what's that? 157.
Let's see. We ought to have a feature like that on there. But we want game state data, but it would actually be really cool to show.
Oh, we have a fight. Sorry, we have a fight in the Grizzlies Cavs game.
Malice at the Quicken Loans?
Yeah. Somebody got a subprime loan, and they've rushed the court.
Oh. How about, did you see the video the other day that someone delivered Uber Eats on the basketball court?
I did see that. Great question from David here. What Super Bowl props are we most excited for?
Oof. What Super Bowls are we most excited for? Interesting. I'd have to look at the list of what's there. I really think there's some really quirky ones we got, which are kind of fun. Like, I'm thinking again, I don't know how the market makers are going to price this stuff. Will the team that scores first end up never relinquishing the lead? Will there be a score in the last 2 minutes of the first half?
Yeah, it was Desmond Bain and Donovan Mitchell scrapping.
I think the most fun ones are going to be like anytime touchdown score.
Yeah,
because
that's going to be good.
You go on DraftKings and it's like, or FanDuel or whatever, and it's anytime touchdown score minus 180, minus 200 to score, and you're like, I wish I could just bet no, because that would be an underdog, right? So in sport trade terms, the share price is less than 50, price equals probability. So I think that's going to be cool because you could do something like that where you take one of the favorites to score a touchdown this game. Let's say Miles Sanders is 55% chance to score a touchdown, which means 45% chance to not score a touchdown. You buy the no at 45, he's scoreless in the first half, God forbid, Dan. And now that goes to 75. So you're kind of flipping you got to turn the tables.
Right.
So I think that'll be really fun because that'll be really fun to trade, to bet in and cash out and play.
No, I cannot wait to see what our prices are for the anytime touchdown scorers. I think that's going to be some of the most fun I've had betting on a Super Bowl by far. Not only because my team is in it, our team is in it, but it's going to be so much fun to look at.
There's angles abound too in all these stuff. Yeah.
Memphis and Cleveland's in a delay here because of the fight. 10 seconds left. Lakers up 112-111. Let's go Lakers. I can't believe I'm actually saying that, but let's go Lakers. Come on now. 112-111. It appears we're in a timeout, I think. Again, game's not on television here. I see a Patrick Beverley defensive rebound with 10 seconds left. Maybe he was fouled. Yeah, okay. So he's at the line right now. Patrick Beverley has missed both of his free throws. Ugh. So 8.1 seconds left. The Pacers are now in a timeout with the ball down 1. No bueno from Patrick Beverley.
I kind of want that game to go to overtime because it's kind of great that the markets come back for the market makers because new life.
And
New life.
presumably, we could just trade out of it, right? Because our average cost is 29, 3.5 shares. So we could presumably make like 60, $65 if it goes to overtime, like immediately.
100%. Yep. It's great.
Man, this Heat Knicks game,
Roller
again,
coaster.
not on TV, but the Heat were down to like $20 per share. Then they were up. Now the Knicks are up 77-72 at the end of the third. So that's down 33. We'll take a look at the portfolio here. Grizzlies, again, are down, but that market is vacant currently because it's a big delay in the game. Still not playing basketball. The over, though, looks pretty good, up 28. And again, we're just sort of waiting for a couple of things. This over 239.5 in Lakers-Pacers is dead, as you mentioned. So now we're just sort of waiting for the end of Lakers-Pacers. I'll pull up the game cast at least. And we'll see what we got. It looks like Pacers are still in a timeout. So ESPN win probability, for whatever that's worth, says Lakers at 72%. In your experience, how closely tied are the win probabilities we find elsewhere to what we actually see in the sport trade markets?
This is a great point. We should build a bot.
Yeah.
We have a lot of smart people at Sport Trade. Put someone on this very fun project and call it like the ESPN whatever. We could get some more smart people at Sport Trade involved, make a Twitter thing and show its ROI. There's a lot of sharp people on sharp sports betting Twitter that tell you it doesn't hold its weight, but it is something really fun to look at. And so I think that's what ESPN's really kind of going for. If you're saying that the Lakers have 75% chance of winning, according to ESPN, it's not like it's actually 40. It's going to be pretty close. So let's look at that as a positive indication. It's kind of like you have a house and on Zillow, there may not be an offer, but then there's like a lookalike house on Zillow for like something that makes you happy. That's exactly what you just did.
Now you're speaking my language.
Love it.
As someone who just lives on Redfin all day. I'm not even trying to move, but just live there. Okay, so it looks like we did it. Buddy Hield misses a jumper, rebound by Anthony Davis, and the Lakers have won 112-111. We did it, everybody. We did it.
That's unbelievable. They were just at 19.
They were
7 minutes ago.
We bought them. We bought them 3 shares at $29 per share. We just made $240, Alex.
It's unbelievable. Trading's been halted.
$240.
I made $213. All of the profit on there includes commission, so it's out of sight, out of mind for you. We're being as transparent as possible. That's your commission includes. So you made what, 230, 250?
240. It's made $240 on the Lakers beating the Pacers. And I didn't even bet it until the fourth quarter.
It's great.
There we go.
You kind of let the game play out. I love that.
We go.
That's great. Wait, I just got a push notification. Position has been settled.
Let's go.
That's a winner. Let's see the green money bar.
Let's walk through that, right? So I just pulled up my orders and trades. We'll go to settlements. So again, we told you that over was dead long ago. So that over is dead. But Lakers to win. Again, bought it at 29, settles at 100. Every contract settles at 100. Every share settles at 100. Again, interchangeable terms. We had basically 3.5 of them. So from 29 to 0 is a difference of, 71. Again, minus commission. You multiply that by basically 3.5. So that's how we get to that profit of basically $240. We did it. Thank you, LeBron.
Yep. That's great. And that shows you right there, like your payout, $339.92, profit $239.93. Couldn't be simpler. So that's Dan, unbelievable. And they were 19 8 minutes ago.
And they win the basketball game. LeBron with 26 points.
26.
We finally have basketball again here in Cleveland. Tough bucket from Darius Garland. 85-79. Thank you, Lakers. We're moving on. Okay. The Grizz here up 18.31. I'm kind of thinking this is a sellout moment right now.
I agree with you, and I literally just looked down and went from green to red.
Ugh, down
So
45.
I don't know if you.
You got to act quick.
I honestly think, like, are the market makers listening to us? They're like getting ahead of you.
They
Like,
might be.
they're just.
They might be.
Hey, we're green again. Nope, we're red. We're green. This is how quick this
Oh my
moves.
gosh.
It's unbelievable.
Big bucket here from Ja. I mean, the transition defense has just not been there from Memphis here. So it's a 4-point game, 85-81. Do we have a total on this one? We do. Over 22.5. Selling at 96. We're getting out. Getting out. Just made $50 right there on this over.
Easy.
Or on this total, rather. Over 223.5 is at 96. Anything that, I mean, if nothing good happens after 90, I don't know what the phrase is for over 95, but you better just get the hell out of the way.
Yep.
So now all of a sudden we're looking at two games in our portfolio. We got the Grizzlies and the Heat, but we've made some bank tonight. We made $50 on that over. We made $240 on that Lakers game.
Unbelievable.
So things.
I'm looking at all the props tomorrow, and you're asking me like which. I mean, there's an hour of primetime television to be had of just discussing some of these crazy props. Like, again, I'm looking at this and I'm like, how the heck is there going to be an in-play price for some of this stuff? You know, like here's one. Like, will the winning team ever trail by 10 or more points? Like,
considering the Eagles are going to win by 10 plus, the answer is no.
I mean, so think about that. So so the Chiefs score a touchdown. Chiefs score a field goal. Okay. So Chiefs are up 10-0. Then the Eagles, so it's interesting. Is that once that happens, the probability of that to occur is going to be very similar to the probability of the Eagles occurring, but it's not going to be exactly the same. Like, you just look at this stuff and you're like, that's unbelievable. Like, there's going to be angles abound for this stuff. Rufus should be flying back to New Jersey. I know he's in Las Vegas. I know that he's betting all these props, but he's not going to be able to bet any of these props in play. And so he doesn't even watch the games anyhow. He should, get a flight at 4 p.m. on Super Bowl Sunday, Eastern time, from Las Vegas to New Jersey, because who's going to be flying at that point?
Great point. Great point. One of the things that I find to be unbelievably frustrating is we get emails whenever somebody mentions Sport Trade on Discord, and then you go to find it and I can never find it. So that's just lodging a quick complaint. That's all.
Dan, we got another new customer just signed up.
Whoa!
First name Bruce.
Okay.
What's up, Bruce?
Bruce.
We're texting Bruce. See if
Text Bruce right now. Ask him if he's watching the live stream.
Let's do it.
Bruce, welcome. Excited to have you into the Sport Trade family. Let us know if you're watching the live stream. And Alex is going to text you right now. Amazing stuff. That's 2 signups tonight. Amazing. We love it.
It's amazing. I mean, and today's been a pretty good day so far. We had to cut some signups before. It's great. I think people are loading up for the Super Bowl.
I love it. I love it. Welcome, Bruce, and welcome, Brittany, I believe was her name, correct? Brittany?
Brittany, yep.
Bruce and Brittany. Double B's. We love it. All right, let's take a spin around and see what. I mean, we're flush with cash now, so let's see what's there to trade on in our remaining markets here. Grizzlies are still only at 16-5. Man, it's not that dire. Heat and Knicks, the Heat are down to 18. Goodness. 90-81 with 8:42 left. 8:42 left.
What? How much time's left in the Grizzlies game?
It's still in the third quarter.
Okay. So we're not getting out of that.
No.
I mean, we're right. Look at it. Literally just turned. I mean, literally just went from green to red back to green in the time it took me to formulate my sentence.
So here's on your screen, Alex, is my position here for the Heat. We have it at 54. It's at 18 right now. There's 90 minutes left. They're down 7, down 9 with 8 minutes left. No Jalen Brunson, no Mitchell Robinson for the Knicks tonight. I think this is an obvious one.
Mm-hmm.
$100. We're up what? We're up 300.
Yep.
Yep. So we're gonna do that. And look, we went from 54 to 27. So
You
Heat
just cut
have.
your average cost per share in half, literally.
Yep, we did. So let's go Heat. Heat culture, baby, for the win. Grizzlies within 5 now. Let's see. 90,
They're
85,
creeping up.
I believe. Yeah, 90, 85 after these Morant free throws. So we're up $12 here. Now, you may look at this and say, why not buy low again, Dan? Well, we already have $215 on this bet.
Mm-hmm.
We obviously want to preach responsible gaming, right? It's very attractive to say, let me buy low again, let me buy low again, let me go buy low again. Look, these things don't always turn out the way we want. We got lucky, frankly, with the Lakers game. So
Yes.
I'm just going to hold pat here. I'm not going to place an additional buy. We have 11.6 shares in a tight game, 5-point game right now. 2:56 left in the third. So that's where we're at with that. We did put more money on the Heat, which are now down to 13. Yikes on bikes. Trying to get an update there.
Grizzlies is here is just kind of stuck around 20. It's kind of just bouncing back and forth, bouncing back and forth. I think there's one run in them. What's the score of the game? Let's see.
92-85.
92-85. So here's what I'm going to do. I have $200 as my bet amount here, which means I have about 11 and a half shares. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell 5 of those 11 and a half, but I'm not going to sell them now. I'm going to put in a limit sell. Sounds like a scary word. It's actually really easy. It's just, hey, if the price hits 25, sell me my 5 shares. So here we go. I'm going to put that in the market. Our order window will show you, if the price hits 25 and you're going to sell these 5 shares, here's what your payout's going to be. It's going to be $125. Very simple.
Okay,
so that's what I got.
So the New Orleans Pelicans are already down 30 in the second quarter. They're trading at $4. They're not going to get worse than 30. Okay? They still have their entire lineup in there except for Zion, who's not playing tonight. They have Brandon Ingram. They have Jonas Valanciunas. They have C.J. McCollum. They're playing Dallas, who really only has Luka. I think for $450, this is a great opportunity.
Okay.
I'm buying $100 worth.
That's just an incredible trade.
So I have 22 shares of them at $4. All they have to do is get to 10. Get to 8. If they get to 8, I've doubled my money.
Doubled your money. What that's interesting. I'm
And
going
they're
to do.
They're not even a
like
halftime
that.
yet.
I like that. I see Pelicans plus 8.5, so I'll take that little bit of a buffer. I'm going to do the same thing with 100.
Okay.
Prices. It makes my price is a little higher. It's 10.5. It makes sense.
10.5 is still good. 10.5 is still great.
Yeah. We just need a little bit of a
Just a little bit of oomph.
Grizzlies are
Nuggets, Nuggets Warriors are tied at 34 end of the first. Mavericks are up 70-41 on the Pellies. Bulls up 76-64 on the Hornets. Knicks 92, Heat 85. And now a 10-point game, in Cleveland. 95.
So we had some great betting just there on the Lakers. You made $240. On the whale tracker, I looked just now. We had a customer buy the Lakers. They bought 44.5 shares at $31. That's a $180 trade risk.
Wow.
And they did over $3,000 on that one.
Wow.
Talk about addiction, man. It's the same thing. You get a feel, you rip it, you roll with it.
What a trade. So we have, I'm seeing 50 shares at $19, 44.5 shares at 31. Is this the same person? Do we know?
I'm not sure. I can look it up. Is there?
Yeah.
I'm not seeing the other. I'm only seeing the one for 44.5 at 31.
So somebody bought the Lakers to win 50 shares at $19.
Oh my gosh! Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So even better trade.
That's incredible. That is incredible. Let's look that up. Um,
And somebody just bought the Grizzlies at $17, 37.5 shares.
the answer to your question is yes. So, well, okay, let's see here. I see. We had a customer buy 50 shares at 19 for the Lakers at 9:05 p.m. And then a different customer bought, there's the 43 and a half shares at $30, $32, $31. Yeah, wow. So different customers, different viewpoints.
Wow. Hey, those are unbelievable trades. Great trades.
Yep.
So what
got
so
some
do we have it? Do we have it on what the? So 50 at 19. Oop, session time. Sorry about that. Do we have 19 is what 81 times 50?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
What is that? 81 times 50. That's $4,000. That's not terrible. Right?
That's pretty
Man,
good.
Think about that, man. Just tossing around a few thousand. No big deal.
Sounds nice. Must have been
Yeah.
Guy Adami, our friend from
You know what?
CNBC.
Dan, check this out. One of the same customers. This is what makes me feel so good about what we just did. 5 minutes ago, one of the same customer that bought the Lakers at 19, 50 shares, just bought 37 and a half shares of the Memphis Grizzlies at $19.
Double dipping. Let's go.
Does that make you feel better about where you're sitting right now?
No, because they're now down 11. So right now I could get $93.52 back, 81.83, and lose 133. So I could basically claw back about 30% of my money.
Mm-hmm.
But we have another quarter left. Whole another quarter left.
Yep.
As
Did
we
anyone
just
get
saw.
ejected after that fight?
It's a good question. I don't think so, but I could be wrong.
We have some.
So Heat Knicks, Knicks 94, Heat 89, and that's with 5 minutes left. So a 5-point game. We're down 66-44 with the Heat, buying at 22. I'm excited to see what happens with this Pelicans game. It's halftime, 70-43, and it's at 4.5. There's no way. There's no way they're going to be losing by 27 for the entire game.
Listen, I'm with you. I think you took Pelicans money line at $4,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
I took Pelicans
450.
450, and I took Pelicans plus 8.5 points. At 1050.
Okay. We'll see how much of the Pellies we find or we see in the second half here. We're coming up on the end of the stream. Grizzlies and Cavs end of the third, 99-87. Again, we'll at least go to the end of Knicks Heat, which has 5 minutes left, 94-89. Looks like we're in a timeout here. Yeah. So again, we pointed to the implied probability from like ESPN's side. They have the Knicks at 83.7 right now. Mm-hmm. We have the Heat at 25.5, which obviously is not equal.
No.
So we've got about a $5 edge here. Boos is loose. What up, boys? What's up, Boos? How are you, my friend?
Dan, did we tell you what Boost is? We're going to make a new Twitter account for him.
What is it?
Book it with Boost.
Oh, you did tell me that. I love that. Yeah. The Boost is loose on a Thursday night, a Friday's Eve, if you will. Again, we've had 2 people sign up during the live stream. So sign up for Sport Trade, get your $300 risk-free bet. Take advantage of that right now. Hashtag Boost. There you go. Take advantage. And we've got more coming tomorrow. We're going to have some really cool, exciting stuff coming tomorrow for our Sport Trade family. Eddie, you are a part of the Sport Trade family, by the way. Follow him at Husky Park TV. There you go. Book Boost coming soon to all social media. There you go.
That's great. We have so much exciting stuff starting tomorrow. It's really great. The team's been working so hard. To our next release. This Super Bowl stuff's been like, it's really great. Operationally, marketing, product. It's been really cool to see everybody push so hard. And I think the customers we're gonna have a blast. This is gonna be a lot of fun.
It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great. I was asking the ops teams, I'm like, how are we going to do this many live things that are going to be settling? Like, a lot of these props can be settling in real time, you know? And you don't want a bet to stay open beyond, it's already hit. And the response I got back, Joe, his name's Joe Stafford. He's fantastic.
Oh, he's amazing. We love Joe.
He's just incredible teammate. And he was like, we're going to have all eyes on this game. And I'm just realizing, like, this is what it is. This is the first time Sport Trade's doing the Super Bowl as, a live in New Jersey company. And that's what it's going to be. It's going to be all hands on deck. It's going to be a blast of a day. A total blast.
Eddie, still watching. I see you, Eddie. Thanks for hopping into the chat, my friend. 94-91 Heat right now, or Knicks right now, 3:38 left. We're down 26-27, now 15, now 38. This thing is jumping around like crazy.
You're on the Heat?
Oh, yeah. We've been on the Heat all night.
Yeah. And so what I see they're at 25 right now. I'm going to put $100 on that. They're up to 30. Let's see if it comes back down to 25.
Oh, let's go. We're down 22 cents. We have 7.5 shares right now from 27.53. Right. 94-91. RJ Barrett at the line misses his first free throw. So again, they still have the Knicks. They still have the Knicks at 80.6 to win the game. We have them at Sports Trade, or we have the Heat rather at Sports Trade at 28.5. So we are not as high on the Knicks. The Heat now into the green, into the money. Into the area where money is made. $3.55.
You're in Greenland.
Yes, we are. We've made it. Welcome.
You're in Greenland.
95-91 Heat timeout. 3:20 left. Man, the Grizzlies are down to 4.5 now. Ooh, 102-87, a huge run from the Cavs.
That's it's not good. Not good. But look, we bought low, and we're playing with the money that we made in the Lakers game.
Yeah.
And the critical thing is we didn't overchase it, right? We put in 100, put another 100, left it there.
So we could claw back $29 right now. Nope, not anymore. $10. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So we're out on the Grizz. We're out. We sold 11.5 shares at 90 cents per share. So we were able to claw back $10 of the 200 we put down. 104.87 Cavs in our featured game. That one not looking good. But we have an opportunity here. Heat down 4 with 3:20 left. And we're basically back to start. We're down 22 cents there. But again, we made 300. So on the Lakers, basically. The Lakers total and the Lakers to win. So we're still up. We're still up on the night.
One of our customers just sent me a text. Here's what it says. Planning on posting any big game props? Saw a handful up last week. It's pretty fun. And I'm just like, oh yeah. This is this. If you thought the Brett Maher thing, and last week was great. It was great because we did one in the divisional round, and that was like everyone was talking. I mean, it sucks. Like it's tough to watch a guy miss like that because like his whole career is kind of like flashing in front of his eyes. Right. And I'm not a Cowboys fan, obviously. I was kind of happy he made one. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
I don't hold a lot of sympathy for the Cowboys.
I mean, it just stinks because Jerry Jones came on the field, and at that point, like it's getting real. Like Because then, like as an athlete, and you've been there, like you get the demons. Because now it's like, oh my gosh, the owner of this entire organization is on the field talking to me, the kicker, because I missed a practice kick.
Right.
That was a lot of fun. And then so we did more props last week, and then this next week's going to be, and again, it's going to have that sport trade flair, that sport trade brand, that sport trade difference, and that's like, imagine like betting on some of these player props like in play.
97-95 right now.
That's
Heat
the
and
Knicks Heat.
Yeah. And to your point, yes. Betting props on the Super Bowl will be unlike anything you've ever done on other apps. Quentin Grimes, a 23-foot three-pointer, makes it 195. Unfortunately, we're down to limit sells only currently. So I'm going to try to sneak one in here and see if I can just make a little bit of money. See what happens. See if that'll fill. So our order is placed. That doesn't necessarily mean it happens, but our order is in. 102.97 with 122 remaining here.
We're in the danger zone time.
Yeah, so again, I'm going to try to get it in limit order here. Order play. Okay, well, I've got some limit orders placed, but that's as good as I can do right now. We'll see what happens. Whoops. So it looks like that was actually filled.
It's great. You never know who's out there in the marketplace.
Yeah. So I ended up
orders.
making $8.73.
It's great. Easy. There you go. You sold them 91.32. Bang.
Yeah. Whoops. Clean this up real quick. Okay, so here's a scenario. So
Okay.
I hit a wrong button, so pardon me. So I'm now shorting the Heat to win at $2.90.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, 2.9 shares, shorting them to win. But I kind of feel good about this one.
I have no idea what's happening in this game.
Yeah, well, it's 102.97 with a minute 22 remaining. I'm just going to keep it because I'm betting against the Heat to win, right? So they're down 5 with 122 left. It cost me 207 to win 85.
Yep, that might be a good place to be.
Yeah.
That might be a good place.
Cleveland and Memphis no longer competitive.
Well, we were wrong about that one.
We were. That's okay. Wrong about that one. 104.91. Ja Morant expected to come back into the game here. So maybe there's a chance for them still. So updated in this market here, again, we're shorting the Heat to win, meaning we're betting against them to win. Up 76.56 right now. So a bit of an advanced model for the folks at home. But something you can do.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Especially for those non-A versus B sort of outcomes. That's where it gets fun. I think you know, I talked about this, Stan. I think there's a way to simplify it a bit more by allowing customers to just buy no.
Yeah.
I thought about it this day. I woke up and I'm like, okay, it's a new ad campaign. I could see like Dan in like all these such situations like, no. That to happen? No.
Right.
No. And like you just saying no and a bunch of different things and then just like introducing buying no on Sport Trade. Because it is such like we have simplified it, but it is like it's not how bettors think. Like usually they want to bet the over, they want to bet yes, they want to bet this. But there are a lot of people that are out there thinking like, okay, think back to 3 years ago, Phil Mickelson to win the PGA Championship. You know, you could only bet on him. Of course, he ended up winning, but there would have been a lot of people betting no on that.
Right. So 102.99 here at 56 seconds left. Yeah, the Cavs-Grizzlies game, not all that competitive, frankly. So I think after the Knicks and Heat, we'll probably call it a live stream. We're up against our time at 10. Pellies we bought at 4. They're at 3.5. So that game just starting in the third. So maybe the next 10 minutes we'll see some return on that and then just get out of it. But thanks to everybody watching on Twitter. Again, 42 viewers still hanging out on Twitter. Over 31,000 views this evening on Twitter alone. Thanks for hanging out in the chat as well. Obviously, we're up on Twitch, up on YouTube. We've had 2 people download the app during the show, which is awesome.
Love that.
Bruce and Brittany, thanks so much. Every day is, another yard or 2 at a time, right? We're hitting singles some of these days, and that's totally fine with us.
Yep. It's like, honestly, the getting that customer to that moment of like, this is amazing is great, because then no better person to teach you how to use something new than your best friend or someone you know really well. And so it's kind of like, it takes on a life of its own, right? Like, what is this sports rate thing? Why should I try it? Oh man, you got to try it because of this or that. Once people experience that, I think it's really hard to go back to normal betting, because then you're like, oh wow, the money bar is gone. I'm like, dang, I can't sell out right now. I wish I could sell. Oh dang, I wanted to place a bet, but the spinny wheel got me. So yeah, that's to your point. Like, it's definitely quality over quantity, and it allows us to do the stuff that we're not going to be able to do next year, which is like get this personal touch with a customer and be able to really lean in and call and text Bruce and text Brittany, right?
Totally. 102, 101 now, getting a little sweaty, Madison Square Garden. I'm going to see if I can get rid of all of this. Yes. Okay. I just made $75 more, shorting the Heat, who are now down 3.
That's incredible.
Grizzlies are down $4 per share. But again, they're down a ton.
Yeah. I might sell out of that. This could be a bad idea, but I put in 200. I'll take $35 back. I'll take it.
Yeah. So if we look at our trades, at least on this side of the stream, we made $75 on that short position. We were able to claw back $8 on we made $8 more. So what? That's $86. We sold the Grizzlies. We took a loss there. So what's that? We're down 140 there. But we made 50 there, so down 90. We also hit that amazing
Lakers.
Yeah, we made $96 on the under. Remember, we bought the under, Lakers and Pacers. So we're even. Mm-hmm. So we're up about $300 tonight.
It's great.
Yeah.
The Lakers, man, that was the marquee moment.
Yeah. Huge. That was a big moment. Huge. Big moment on them. 106, 101 Knicks. So what we did was we sold out on the Heat to win when they were up, and then we shorted them, meaning we bet on them not to win, and we almost instantly made $80 more. Do that anywhere else.
Yeah, I mean that's some advanced stuff there, but it's money making. It's money making material.
Well, this has been awesome, Alex. Thanks for jumping on again. This it was open court, right? Anybody wants to come on, can come on. Night Owl, you just jumped on as we're saying goodbye. Where have you been, my friend? But thanks for jumping on and saying yo, Sport Trade. We're gonna obviously do this again. We're trying to figure out what we're gonna do for the Super Bowl. Obviously, most of us are Eagles fans, so there are a lot of interest in watching this one. We'll figure it out, and we'll go from there. Anthony, Night Boy, sorry I missed most of the stream. Not a big deal. You just missed us making a ton of money. Fake money, but money nonetheless. Alex, thank you again for jumping on. Any last remarks before we say goodnight?
No, this is great. I love that we're doing this. We've got the stream stuff figured out. My computer is cooperating, which is great. And I just can't wait for this next 8 days. they're just going to be wild.
It's going to be great. Make sure you're signing up for Sport Trade. If you have not, even if you have, pay attention to our social channels tomorrow. We're going to have a ton to unveil. Super Bowl promo and maybe a little something, a little extra incentive for people who have signed up and have not traded or who are on the fence about signing up. You're going to want to pay attention to what we have on social channels tomorrow. Alex, thanks again. Mike, thanks for the thumbs up. Night Owl, we'll see you on a different stream. Again, I'm Dan. That's Alex. We are from Sport Trade. We'll catch you at another edition of Trade the Game later on down the line. Thanks so much.